Hi everyone, it's Rax. I got an idea from someone in chat today and I wish I could remember who it was. I apologize for not remembering their name. For a quote-unquote impossible challenge in Diablo 4 that I am going to attempt to complete here in a few days. And I want to explain to you how this works or what the idea is. So I have been speedrunning Diablo 4 1 to 100 as kind of my main way of having fun with the game, because leveling is so fast, trying to reduce my times on all the classes by a lot. And there's going to be an event coming out, and we actually don't know exactly when the XP bonus is coming out. It might be tomorrow. Tomorrow, the extra goblins come out. We don't know if the XP starts at the same time. But there's supposed to be a 25% XP boost, and they said it's multiplicative, so which means it should just be 25% faster. So someone had the idea of, hey, Rax, since you can't do your normal speedruns now because it's now apples against oranges since you level so much faster, could you possibly level every single class 1 to 100 in one day, 24 hours in a single stream? And well, when you look at the math of it, it's not looking good. So my barb time is about 5.5 hours. The druid time is 8. The necro time is 8.75, but we could do a little bit better than that, certainly. The rogue is 8.25. Haven't done the necro or the rogue in a while. I just lowered my druid time by 2 hours today. Maybe I could lower it a bit further. And then my sorcerer time is 5.25, which is pretty amazing. Now, when I look at these times, so that's pretty much 36 hours of gameplay to do all 5. Can't do it in 24 hours. So first of all, I am sure that I can lower my necro time and my rogue time just by playing better and things that I've learned by at least an hour each. So let's just take 2 hours off. I'm pretty sure I can do that. And although we're going to get a 25% multiplicative boost in XP, it will not translate exactly into a 25% reduction because there are a bunch of things in the game that will not change throughout the run. For example, the million loading screens that you have where you get 2 loading screens per nightmare dungeon. And that's actually a lot of time. And the climb down the ladder and walk forward and the 10 seconds there, it's going to be the same amount of time with no XP, and the 25% increase is only going to be when you play, assuming that it is actually multiplicative. So let's say that we save 20%, that might be optimistic, and we are left with 27 hours. That's still not 24, so it's still not possible. So still impossible. So how do I take this 27-hour time down to less than 24? I've been thinking about this all day, and the rules that I have been playing under are you have to play hardcore. We're going to do that. You get to play solo. Okay, we're going to do that. You can't use any uniques or uber uniques or masterworking, any of that. I'm going to follow those rules again. But there is one rule that I could break to try to get it under 24, and that is with the gear. Now, the rule that I have made in all the runs that I've done so far is I can't have gear already in my stash. I've got to pick up the gear on the ground, and then I have to re-roll it, imprint it, temper it, put in the gems, this or that, and then I can go. And so the question is if I had the gear ready to go in my stash, could that save 3 hours? And my initial answer to that across 5 runs is probably no. I don't spend 3 hours in town across the 5 runs. I've practiced this a lot, and even though you have to pick up the loot and change everything about it, the tempering, the re-rolling, the imprinting, the gems, everything, I don't think I spend 3 hours doing it. But then I started to think about it a little bit more, and it's not just the fact that you can save the time of actually crafting the gear. If I could find some decent gear to play with, then my gear might be a little bit better. than what I normally play with because I usually play with absolute garbage. So what's the time save about my gear being a little bit better or having a little bit better imprints than I normally run? I don't know, but now we might start getting a little bit closer to 24 hours. And then I remembered one other thing. I just released a video a few days ago saying that I could clear the capstone at level 1 if I had some gear. Wait a minute. Maybe now I can actually try to do the capstone at level 1 5 times in a row over a 24-hour period, survive it, go to World Tier 3 eventually at like level 10 and just figure out a way to survive. And if I could do that 5 times in a row without ripping my initial gear, now we might be talking. Now we might be looking at a sub 24-hour time. The problem is, well, everything I just described. First of all, I'm going to have to farm this gear so I could even attempt it. I'm still not allowing myself any uniques. I can't play Werewolf Tornado with a Tempest Roar from Duriel. That's stupid. I would never find one leveling up anyway. So that's unrealistic. But making myself little twink level 1 gear actually might change the entire speed run. But the time save is definitely there, but the risk factor is way higher. And I don't just have to do it once, I have to do it 5 times. And if I die on any of my characters, I lose the twink gear and the run is about over. And then I can also spend a little bit of time trying to optimize all of these different runs that I have done. And can I find other ways to reduce this time? I know I can get the Sorcerer under 5 hours. This barb time is pretty good, but my ending splits were bad. So this final split was bad, so maybe I could lower that a bit. Certainly the Necro is going down below 8, probably below 7 somehow if I can figure it out. Rogue, I'm going to bring down as well. And Druid, I brought down 2 hours today, but I can bring it down even lower. This 24-hour mark is very interesting to me. And the fact that it's hardcore, if any of my characters die, it's essentially over. And then there's going to be fatigue. When you get to the end of it and you're playing all these different characters and trying to keep everything straight, is this possible? I mean, maybe somehow I can try to change my sum at best from 35.5 or whatever it was down to a sub 24 in a single stream. So anyway, that's the idea. So starting tomorrow on my stream, I'm going to keep theory crafting this. I'm going to keep figuring it out. I'm thinking about doing the stream next Friday. If that changes, I'll let you know. But when I'm about ready, I'll make a follow-up video. I'll be like, all right, let's give it a try. And I don't know, stuff like this is way more interesting to me than just trying to clear higher in the pit. So I'm going to try to clear all 5 classes, 1 to 100, solo in hardcore, no uniques, no Ubers, no masterworking in a single stream in 1 day. I don't know. I'm going to have a big smile on my face if we're successful, but so many things could go wrong. I don't think I will be able, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And even if I do have a perfect plan and it might work, I'll probably either make a mistake or something will go wrong. I don't know. It's just the way life goes sometimes, but it's not going to stop me from trying. And I'm actually very excited for this. So I'm going to have to farm for a long time to get the consumables to even do this, but let's give it a try and see if we can get even close. One final thing I'll tell you, I asked chat, if I do the run, what would make it kind of the most exciting? And they said, do the slowest ones first, so you'll be at a deficit, and save the fastest ones for the end. So currently, my Necro is going to beat the Druid, and my Rogue is also going to beat the Druid. So probably I'll go Druid, Rogue, Necro, Barb, Sorcerer. That should be in order of slowest to fastest when I actually have everything figured out. So we will be at a deficit, and we'll have to super speed run the Barb and Sorcerer when we're the most tired and see if we can finally squeak under that mark. Anyway, trying to make a fun little challenge in Diablo 4. One last hurrah maybe for this season before we go to the Elden Ring DLC. Holy shit, that's going to be amazing. And then last Epoch's coming after that. It's going to be fun. Thank you guys, and I'll update you on my progress right before we're going to do this, but I'm targeting next Friday. Thank you.